The so-called centrist David Brooks went on PBS over the weekend to discuss the latest ISIS atrocities, and he also weighed in on what American policy should be in the Middle East. Let's listen.
These are taunts designed to make us feel afraid, designed to make us feel helpless. They're provocations. They're not acts of war. It's more like just an insult to our sense of humanity. And I think it's important not to overreact to these individual events. We give them power if we overreact. Having said that, we do need to do what we can, which is limited, to make the Middle East a civilized place for people to live. And Islamic State is a roadblock to that. And so, to me, the things we have to do are things they're doing to some degree, but not to sufficient degree. The first is to degrade the Islamic State, which we're doing with bombing campaigns, at least in Iraq, but not really, with the exception of one town in Syria. And that means they'll forever have a refuge to go to wreak havoc in Iraq, and they'll be able to make Syria into a hellhole, which it is. The second thing is, it just can't be a battle over our status versus their status. They kill one of us, we, or as the Jordanians, they'll kill two of them. That's just a descent into barbarism. And so what we have to stand to and remind ourselves, we do stand for democracy. A lot of people have lost faith in that mission. But if we don't have that mission of doing what we can to make the Middle East a pluralistic, democratic place, then we've lost the moral high ground. It's not about morality anymore.
Oh, we already lost it a long time ago. Way before the CIA report came out, which detailed how we do the most brazen, disgusting, in-your-face torture, anal rape, anal feeding, hypothermia, burying people alive, sleep deprivation, waterboarding, and this guy's talking about the moral high ground. We might lose the moral high ground. You might want to look back to 2001 when that really happened, or 2003, the latest. And how naive is this guy? He's so naive. Oh, well, we need to civilize the Middle East, as if that's our role. As if Bob in Montana is like, I'm trying to feed my kids here, but what I should do is go civilize people in Syria. Fuck off. Again, it's such a naive, childish way of viewing the world. We need to civilize them. We need to bring democracy to the region. Now, we're going to get to later how when the U.S. talks about bringing democracy to different places, they're more likely to bring fascism to certain places. Augusto Pinochet in Chile, Guatemala military dictatorships in Nicaragua and El Salvador. These are places we put in authoritarian regimes. So our idea of democracy is the opposite of democracy. We call it democracy, and then we put fascist leaders in place. So spare me this idea of we need to bring democracy to places. We don't need to bring democracy to places, and we never do anyway. And here's my main point. I want to blow up this entire framework of the conversation that we have. If you listen in the mainstream media in America, every single conversation starts with the premise of we are the world police and that's our rightful role. Whether it's a Republican talking or a Democrat talking, that's still the premise that they're discussing from, and they all agree to that, and then they have disagreements after they've already agreed to that. Like, yeah, we should be the world policeman, but maybe we shouldn't have did Iraq, and maybe Afghanistan should have been cut shorter, and yada, yada, yada. That's a more liberal position, and the Republican position is war everywhere, like Bill Kristol. Let's invade everywhere. We need to invade 3 places before next Thursday. So those are your two, your liberal and your conservative. That's what they argue about. And then you have centrists like David Brooks, who's like, we should civilize the savages overseas. No, I want to blow up the framework and start over and not accept this ridiculous ideology that we should be the world police any more than Finland should be the world police or Barbados should be the world police. It's not our place to choose anything for people in the Middle East. Anything. And don't mistake my argument for saying that, therefore, if we withdraw, everything in the Middle East is going to be rainbows and flowers and puppy dogs. Fuck no, there's going to be a lot of chaos and a lot of damage and a lot of civil war and a lot of horrible stuff, and my heart bleeds for those people. But I'm not going to send a poor kid from Kentucky to go fight, to die for something that he can't even articulate back to me in terms of why we're there. It just doesn't make any sense. So look, it's not our place. I believe in non-interventionism. I'll only use American military strength to defend the nation. That's it. And understand, The choice, or choices, I should say, that the Middle East is going to face, it's going to be very difficult because right now, with the way that a lot of the different countries are structured and the people in the areas, they're at a crossroads in the sense that they're going to need to pick between like the Russian model of an authoritarian strongman who keeps order, but he's brutally repressive and he restricts civil liberties and all that stuff. So there's tremendous downsides. Then the one upside would be order, if you will. Like there's not constant political turmoil and the thought of maybe jihadists getting in office. It's either a strong man in a lot of these different regions in the Middle East, or it's a democracy that no doubt is going to go through the most ridiculous, chaotic turmoil at the beginning and maybe for a couple hundred years, where it's like a democracy, but people will democratically choose a lot of fundamentalist religious people, and then those people will fuck everything up, and then it'll be a long road of like fundamentalist leader this time, and then maybe if you're lucky a mini coup and you get a more secular leader, and then again the fundamentalists rise up. So it's either democracy and possible religious fundamentalism, or the benign strongman argument where they choose to do a Russian-style leader who just keeps order and control but is not really, you know, a reflection of the democratic will of the majority in these different areas. They have no good choices right now. It's one or the other of those two. And my main contention is, either way, it's not my fucking call. It's none of my business here in America. And if the main concern is, hey, we just don't want, you know, any fucking jihadist group to lead a government and then get nukes or something like that, I'm with you on that, dude. Everybody's with you on that. But that's not the place that we're at right now. If we get to that place, we will take the proper response, and the world will take the proper response. But we're not at that place right now. And to be concerned about that now and use that as an argument to continue to stay in all these places, wrong. Bad argument. And as of right now, we are just making the problem worse.